Getting set up real quick. Let's see. Let's see if I can. There we go. Okay, real quick. Okay, awesome. Perfect. Okay, so we've got that set up. Ugh. So, yeah, we're here. Ugh. Let me see if I can actually do this without killing myself. Kind of busted up my foot a couple days ago. Accidentally kicked a wall. There was a whole thing. But yeah, ended up dislocating one of my toes, hence the reason I'm actually not wearing socks, not like I'm trying to show off or anything. But yeah, kicked the corner of a wall and dislocated the ring toe. And this is, I've done this type of injury a couple of times. I am a klutz. But just, I pulled it out, popped it into place. So it's okay. It's feeling a lot better, especially since the first day. But yeah, I was just in no shape to stream yesterday. It was, I was not in a place. So, I think today I want to work on some of it. So, here's, pardon the choppiness, but yeah. So here's Leica so far. I may actually have to turn off this secondary one just because it's taking up bandwidth, so I'll probably just put that on my phone. Hello to everyone. Okay. And then go to stream mode. Okay, there we go. Anyways, so I was able to get some work done, and I've been using Prang watercolors. So this is Leica. She looks so good, and I need to fill in her background. And Leica's specialty is high teas. So I want to decorate it with like sandwiches, petite fours, cookies, that kind of thing in the background. She is a maid for the Monster Maid Cafe that I have brewing up here that I really want to make into a comic book or a comic strip. I want to do something with it because I've got a lot of great ideas sitting here, but I also have a really fantastic storyline with a lot of stuff that I can really do with it that would actually be perfect for not only our day and age, but to actually give more representation. Because to me, the monsters in my story are kind of like analogs or representations of people in everyday society who've been pushed to the outskirts or you know, kind of vilified in many ways. And sometimes it's just easier for people to understand concepts and subtext when they're not looking at just a direct analog, because sometimes direct analogs create this psychological reaction of defensiveness before somebody actually processes the full amount of the information. And oh, hello to Marie0318. Thank you so much for the follow. That is really awesome of you. So I think I will be either working on Vlad or Nozomi. I might actually do both because they have similar color schemes. So Leica tends to do a lot of purples, a lot of blacks. She has like kind of a gothic Lolita or Lolita feel to her because she likes to dress up. That's how my brain works. I think I might start in with Nozomi and just start doing some of the color work on them. And so, okay, so Nozomi goes by them. They are gender fluid. They are also a skinwalker, which is Native American mythology and lore. Skinwalkers can change into different things. And for me, I'm using the skinwalker for a myriad of different reasons. But I think it's going to come out really, really great. But they are gender fluid. I'm also using my monster maids as a way to kind of help train myself on modifying pronouns and getting really comfortable with switching between different genders, different pronouns, different orientations. And orientation is also very different than identity. So one's gender orientation versus one's sexual orientation may be very, very different things. I actually do have a non-binary kitsune who is sapphic. So they like women or girls or people who present as female, while they themselves present as usually very neutral, even slightly masculine. So yeah, I find it a weird and interesting and fun and great way to actually process a lot of stuff that I'm going through and a lot of stuff that my friends and acquaintances are going through, which I will straight up admit sometimes I don't always understand because I'm not in their skin. I'm not dealing with what they go through. So to me, this is a way that I can actually do more in-depth a look at kind of how different people have to handle everyday life, which may seem weird to us or not ordinary, or just sometimes we just don't even think about it. But certain people are going to run into issues and problems that others may not face. Like, I'm cisgender, meaning I identify as the gender I was assigned at birth, um, but I am pansexual. So I run into a different set of problems than, say, somebody who's born cis and het, cisgender heterosexual. Lesbians might run into different issues than, say, somebody who's asexual, which, funny enough, I have a lesbian represented in my maid cafe. I also have an asexual represented in my maid cafe. And oh god, I can't wait to work on the storyline for my asexual character, because she's not only asexual, she's aromantic. So she doesn't feel attraction like the big A. She doesn't feel attraction for people no matter what. Like, she has good friends, she can socialize with practically anybody, but has like just zero like romantic feels. She's like she has more romantic feelings for cheesecake than she does for people, and the way she looks, people tend to foist a thought process of what this character is supposed to be about. And they're like, oh, and I'm like, yeah, no, 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 this character is very much her own thing, but you've made what's called implicit bias. We're taught, oh, if you see ABC, then you're probably going to expect, DEF. So there's this implicit bias or bias that you've been taught that crops up when you see her or when you see something, and you go, oh, this is probably how I'm supposed to react in this situation. Not always true. So yeah, to me, making these characters is a great way to like walk through storylines in different scenarios and talk to different people and find out, hey, I don't happen to be this, but you happen to be this. What are some things you run into? And then like build storylines from it. So yeah. And then Nozomi is, I think I said that. Nozomi is gender fluid, meaning, hey, one day they feel a little bit more masculine. The other days they feel maybe more feminine. Some days they don't feel like anything at all, sometimes known as agender. But it kind of changes, and they're very fluid in nature anyways, hence the Skinwalker. Um, but yeah, it's gonna be really interesting to see where it goes, because my storyline's gonna start off kind of light and fluffy, but it's gonna get serious and it's gonna be dark. Because hey, that's life. Life is complicated. And then Vlad. Oh, I love Vlad so much. So Vlad is actually Laika's significant other, and they go by they or he him. They are intersexed, so they were just born with both sets of chromosomes, the XY, XX. There's a mash in there, and the body didn't recognize, hey, I'm supposed to go one way or the other. It just went, run with it. It's like, but they're very comfortable overall in who they are. He knows, okay, my body's a little bit different, but this is me and I'm comfortable with this. It just is what it is. So yeah, let's get to painting. So let's see. So Laika, I think I can wait a little bit because I want to kind of map out some of the background for her first. I don't want to just go in and then go, oh no, I didn't get the balance right. Vlad is one of the hosts. He tends to do more of the tea services. It's more about the schmoozing. It's the, getting to know people and getting them relaxed and whatnot. Nizome is the master of transforming desserts or transforming dishes, which, I don't know, I took this weird love affair to things called bombs, BOMBE. So they're desserts. They're so gorgeous. They're these lovely desserts, usually covered by petals or domes of chocolate that you then pour a sauce over, and then it melts or it unfolds and reveals these beautiful, little desserts and stuff inside. And I love them. I think they are just absolutely gorgeous and wonderful and so intricate, and they take skill, to say the least. But let's get to painting. So I'll change the position of that real quick. Just give me a moment. Just getting a little bit of water onto my palette surface and onto my, there we go. Okay, so you're gonna face downwards just a little bit. I will actually try to keep my feet out of camera angles, just because I know sometimes the rules are a little bit weird. Let's see, where did I put, oh, they're there. I know I put my brushes here somewhere. Da, 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 da. I don't know. Okay, I suddenly don't know where my phone went to, which, yeah, it happens. Oh, there it is. I'm quirky like that. Do, do, do. And for the most part, you're going to see me do 1 hour streams. Things in the next couple months could change up a bit, so hopefully you will see longer than 1 hour streams. That could be actually kind of cool to do. But yeah, just trying to keep everything moving and grooving and doing the thing. And if anybody has any questions, whatever, feel free to chime on in. So let's see. Trying to remember the color wheel. And the color wheel actually matters. Okay, so I want to do Native American color wheel. Black, red, yellow, white. Okay, So the Native American color wheel actually does have a lot of meaning to it. So I actually do want to get it right. Okay, and the center is green. Because, of course, different tribes do have different color wheels, but the one that we see most often is the medicine wheel, which is red, gold, white, and black. I like to kind of double, triple, or at least cross-check my sources, because I don't want to inadvertently use something in a highly disrespectful way, because there are certain symbols that if you put them in the wrong direction or give them the wrong colors, they mean something really, really, really different. Same thing happens like with flags. If you put a flag in the wrong direction or you put it with the wrong colors up, it actually means really different things, and it can cause issues. Okay, black, white, red, yellow, black, white, red, yellow. Okay, I think I know what I want to do. So if this is going to be black, this is actually the last color I'll do because it's going to be the darkest. This part's going to be white, so I'm just going to leave it kind of as is. But I can do the yellow and then the red. For this, I'm actually going to use a rather narrow brush. And I'm just going to make sure my paints are activated. I don't need it to be super dense or super dark. And luckily with Prang, they don't get too dark. It's kind of why I'm enjoying them, is because they don't get super intense, and so it's a little bit easier to control the depth and darkness, which means I can also kind of go back in and change or add shade to certain things. Which getting negative space to talk can sometimes be a little bit difficult for me. I am so used to negative space just not existing, because your brain sees something, it knows that, oh, this is all black, or it can recognize different patterns, but for me, trying to put that in can be somewhat difficult at times. So my brain is still learning how to process all of these things. I might even go back in and add more more what do you call it, shade, shadow, depth, and whatnot. But I think all in all, I'm going to probably paint in the background like hardwood. So using my brown tones to kind of give it a almost a lazy Susan effect. Sorry, my brain had a couple of ideas with that actually. Okay. So how is everybody doing tonight? What's going on? Okay, and then red comes across. Which means the red goes down the middle and comes out. Like I said, again, I'm not trying to get a super intense color. Right away, I'm trying to get just the first layers because in the color to give better depth of field. Okay. And then black. Mm-hmm. Black needs to be given a little bit more. Do, do, do. And don't worry, I will definitely pick everything up so you guys can see it in a little bit. Actually, I'm going to end up cutting right below. Okay. Yeah. I'm actually going to draw, or not draw, I'm going to paint in the tie a bit of green. So like a little kind of pop of color. Also, green, pardon me. Green is a color of growth. And this character in particular is going to be doing a lot of growth as they develop as a character. And it's not that, oh, well, this character starts out young and then becomes older. It's that this character is older, but registers as younger because there's a lot of stuff going on. So it will be explained. Honestly, if this takes off with a general audience, I will probably lay down some ground rules as to fan art and whatnot, because, yeah, reasons. Okay, so probably going to be using a pretty good amount of black. I'll switch out brushes. I switched out brushes for one that's a lot longer. It holds quite a bit more water. I'm trying to be careful with how much, because yes, I do want their hair black, but I want to make sure that I don't make it so dense as to be unrecognizable. I spend a lot of time doing line work, so I actually want it seen. So, since this watercolor comes out really light, sorry, roommates. Since this watercolor comes out really light, I have to do it in layers, which, Yay, drying time. Okay, so far pretty good. Okay, so as you see, oops, sorry. As you see, it comes together pretty quickly. But of course, I have to let each layer dry before I add in new color, else it will bleed everywhere, which is not a good thing. So let me move that over, let it dry for a bit. Do, do, do. Okay. Oh, yeah, that's right. It's upside down for everybody else. As you see, I've got to let each layer dry, and as I go in, I'll be adding more depth of field, because even though like all of most of the stuff I'm wearing is black or dark gray, it picks up light differently on where it folds, on where it creases. So I'll probably be going in with a white brush and lightening up certain areas, making other areas darker. Okay. I have a pretty good amount of dark black watercolor to begin with. And black can be a tricky color to work with because black consumes a lot of light, but you still need to add areas of highlight, especially for shiny stuff like hair. So, yeah. Hmm. Shouldn't sit completely hunched over. That is one of my greatest sins. A lot because I'm top heavy. Okay. Giving that a little time to dry. So, like I said, this is going to be a short stream. It's only about an hour. I'm going to work on getting more streams fit in. I just have a lot going on, and I will admit I am a person who sometimes has issues with anxiety, and I get a little bit stressed or anxious, and that doesn't always make for great streaming because I'm just sitting there pensive and whatnot. But I will try and definitely fill y'all in on what's going on and keep you apprised of the different stuff that I'm doing, from mask making to artwork and all that kind of good stuff. So, we're going to shut down for the night, which is cool. I will try and fit in a stream tomorrow. I'm not exactly sure when because tomorrow is just crazy hectic. And I will also try and do a couple of streams this weekend, probably working more on the pieces that I showed you today. So, thank you so much for showing, for coming in, for sitting with, and hanging out and having some fun with me. And thank you again to Marie 0318. Thank you for the follow. Thank you to everybody who follows, who donates, who chats, who participates. It honestly is amazing, and I am going to try and grow this channel more and more, especially with everything that's going on. Because, hey, we could all use some art in our lives. Thank you so much. Love. Love you all. Bye. Have a good one. Of course, now I've got to scoot up and shut this thing off.